My fraction of the day today is 5/8, so 5 over 8. I wrote that in words, F-I-V-E-B-I-G-H-T-H-S, 5/8. To divide my shapes up, I put a line straight across the middle of my circle, and then another line that bisected that first line. So I was in 4 parts, and then I just did another line right through there and another line diagonally there to get my 8ths. Then I'm going to shade 5 of those in. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then to divide my rectangle up, I put a line right across the middle, and then one right down the center, and then divided each of those halves into half again, not very well. And then I'm going to shade 5 of those in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got 5 out of 8 there. Alright, to decide what whole number it's closest to, I'm going to divide my number line up into 8ths first of all. So this will be my 0, and this will be my 1. And there's my halfway mark right there. So I'm going to divide this section into halves, and then each of those sections into halves, and then this section into halves, and then each of those sections into halves. So I should have 8ths here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright. And here's my 1/8, my 2/8, which could also be 1/4, my 3/8, my 4/8, which could also be 1/2, my 5/8, that's what I'm graphing, so I'm going to put my dot right at 5/8, my 6/8, which could also be 3/4, and my 7/8, and then finally my 1 is equal to 8/8. As we know, the whole number 1 is always equal to any fraction that has the same numerator and denominator. So we can see that my 5/8 falling right here is going to be closer to the number 1 than it is to the whole number 0. So we're closer to 1 here. Alright, 3 equivalent fractions. We're going to start with our 5/8. First I'll multiply it by 2 to get 10/16. Then I'm going to take my 5/8 and multiply by 3 to get 15/24. And finally 5/8, I don't know, I'll pick 10 this time, to get 50/80. And remember, we would be making an equivalent fraction anytime we multiply the top and the bottom by the same number. Alright, how much more until our next whole number? Well, we're at 5/8, so it would take us 1/8, 2/8, 3/8 to get to the next whole number, to get to the number 1. Write an addition sentence that totals the fraction of the day. We need 5/8, so I'm going to take 1/8 plus 4/8 would give me 5/8. Compare. Alright, so our other fraction that we're going to be comparing and using for our operations today is going to be 1/2. So we're comparing 5/8 and 1/2. We could look at our number line. Here's 1/2 and here's 5/8. So we can see that 5/8 is bigger than 1/2 just by looking at our number line. But let's use our butterfly method. Remember, we multiply up, so 8 times 1 is 8. And we multiply across here, but up, and so 2 times 5 is 10. And so we can see that our 5/8 side is bigger than our 1/2 side. Alright, down here we're going to be adding 5/8 plus 1/2. Now, if you're good with your fractions, you would see that you could multiply the top and the bottom of 1/2 by 4 to get 8ths there, but I'm going to do what we've been practicing and multiply this first fraction by the denominator from the second fraction, and this second fraction by the denominator from the first fraction. So 5 times 2 is 10, 2 times 8 is 16, 1 times 8 is 8, 2 times 8 is 16, and so there we've got our common denominators. Remember, we don't add the denominators, but we do add the numerators, so 10 plus 8 is 18. We have a problem here because 16 is bigger than 18, and so we can take 16 out of 18 once. That'll be a whole number. When we take 16 out of 18, we have 2 left over, and that denominator stays the same. And then 2 and 16 can both be divided by 2, so we have to do that. So we have 1 and 1/8, because 2 divided by 2 is 1, 16 divided by 2 is 8. Alright, let's look at our subtraction problem. Remember, we're going to take our bigger number, 5/8, and we're going to subtract our smaller number 1/2. Well, we've already gotten our common denominators. We know that 5/8 is equal to 10/16, and we know that 1/2 is equal to 8/16. When we do that subtraction, 10 minus 8 gives us 2, and we keep the same denominator. Well, we've got 2/16 here. We've already reduced that, right? But we're going to go ahead and reduce that. We can see that both of those can divide by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 16 divided by 2 is 8, and so that reduces to 1/8. All right, now we're going to multiply our two fractions together. So we're going to take our 5/8 and multiply it by our 1/2. Remember, with multiplying, we don't need to do any setup at all. We just multiply. 5 times 1 is 5, and 8 times 2 is 16. We cannot reduce 5/16. They don't have any common factors other than 1, and so our answer there is 5/16. And finally, we're going to do our division. So we're going to take our 5/8 and divide it by 1/2. Oops. So we keep the first one, 5/8. We change the operation to multiply, and then we flip the second one. So we're going to flip that to 2/1. Then we multiply straight across. 5 times 2 is 10. 8 times 1 is 8. 10 is bigger than 8. We can't have that heavy, top-heavy fraction. We can take 8 out of 10 once, so that would be our whole number. The leftovers, 10 minus 8 is 2, and then the denominator stays the same. 2 and 8 can both be divided by 2, so we do that. We bring that whole number over, and then 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 8 divided by 2 is 4, so our answer there is 1 1/4. All right, that's your fraction of the day today.